we're going in at daytime. We drove into a FOB, a forward operating base, and we were targeting a IED maker which had blown up. This is in the Uruzgan province, which had blown up multiple conventional Australian infantry engineers, like people doing the construction, the support side of things. So we had intelligence saying he was in the area. Obviously, I got aircraft on to refine that. I won't go into too much detail about the aircraft, but I'm sure you know what type we're talking about. Refining where he is, he popped. So that was, go-to. Went in, hit him, missed him the first day. He decided to stay in that area for some reason, like he disappeared, came back. And we're walking in on target too at this time. And you don't get, normally, obviously, we try to do everything by night time, but when you're chasing a guy like that, it's like, well, when he's there, he's there. You just got to sort of throw caution to the wind sometimes. He comes above the threshold again. We move in. We're stomping in at this stage because we're just working out of the fob and taking a sort of a concealed route in. Hit the target. Shake down the males in the area. Obviously, find nothing again. Don't find him. As we're moving out, he comes up. So we're extracting off target. He moves out. We got a bit lazy in our extraction. We stayed in small arms range of the green belt. So obviously you've got the dash or the desert area and we were walking in, behind mountainous areas. And we've got the green belt, which is obviously the habited area. It's got all the koalas in there, all, the mud compounds. And I'm in because I hang out with the HQ element, I assume I normally work hand in hand with the boss and all the other enablers. And then if needed, I'll push forward with the teams. So we're coming out, extracting out in our formation. We get lit up by a couple of PKMs. For me, it was mainly, I was the link man I was the last man in my team, and then the front guy in the other team, the scout, sort of went around him and a couple of rounds peppered near me. So turn around to start hooking into the area where the muzzle flash, like where the dust came out of. At the corner of my eye, see a couple other Taliban come out and they start firing us. Like they've sort of peeled they had a couple of little teams and they were peeling around. And they're firing on us. Finally figured out that, hey, there's rounds coming down, so I jumped on my guts. Because everyone sits there and goes, oh, you've got to be on you got to be on your guts. Sometimes it's not the best thing to be on your guts. Like you can be standing or kneeling. It just depends on the scenario. Like you've got to be able to have that critical thinking, that thinking in the moment to make that decision for yourself. Like, your instincts are going to say jump on your stomach, but what's the point of jumping on your stomach if I can't see the target because there's high ground or grass in front of me? So finally jumped on my stomach to get a lower profile, still firing. Finished. We send a clearance team through. They go through, hit a couple of guys. One of them escaping happens to be he left his PSD behind to sort of hold up our teams chasing him. He ran off. He was trying to set an IED for the team, and they were just trying to, his security detachment was just trying to delay him, but keep running back so we'd chase him up. As he was setting the IED, he blew himself up. So he own goal, what we call the own goal. The guys, the other Taliban got away, pulled out. As I had ISR on, and had an MC-12. I don't know if your viewers know what an MC-12 is. It's multi-platform, again, intelligence surveillance, but it's manned. Anyway, forgot, because I'd been in the moment of barrel down, trigger pulling, forgot that I had a radio sensor operator up there who's talking to me. She was awesome. She'd already figured out that, hey, I was task saturated and I was losing situational awareness of her, and she was moving things around. So she started reporting, which brought me back to it. It was like, pulled out my map. There's a hole in my map. And I'm like, what's that from? And this is the old, 1:50,000 maps. Like, it's not TAC like all the boys are used to now, boys and girls. It's the old topographical map. And there's a hole through the side. I looked down at my map pocket, because I used to carry my CAS graphics or my smaller graphics in the front pouch of my assault rig, and then I'd carry my larger map in my map pocket. Look down, there's a hole in my map pocket. And I'm like, what? Anyway, got back to the fob, showed the other guys, and there's guys that had been shot through the packs and had hats shot off them and been shot in helmets and stuff like that. And they looked at the tan marks and they looked at them and they said, you've had a round go through there. So would have been and I didn't have
Crazy.
like it didn't. Yeah, it's just the way I had, because I had multiple maps in there. It sort of pushed my map pocket out, I suppose. Let's say an inch or so, and it's just gone through the corner of that and just ripped out a hole. So
Yeah, just imagine you drop down like 2 inches to the right, or whatever.
yeah,
It
and
could
I
change
don't have any,
everything.
yeah, I don't have any recollection. I